here's how one bath time totally changed my view of invisible disabilities. So invisible disabilities are disabilities that are internal, that only come out through behavior and actions. They don't, you hear sometimes people say like, they don't look autistic, which is a stupid thing to say because there's not a look, but you just don't know what's happening in someone's internal world. And so there was this one moment when one of my children was in a bath and he didn't want to be in the bath. I had to put him in the bath myself, which I don't necessarily recommend. It was just, there were a lot of mitigating circumstances. He needed to be in the bath. Just take that for what it is. And I was bathing him and he was just really having a tough time emotionally and breaking down. And I was doing my best to be there for him. And I had this moment of remembering this conversation I had with a mentor of mine who had raised a child with significant physical disabilities. She never spoke or walked. And this mentor of mine was describing a bath time that she had had with her daughter. And I had a flash of that conversation while I was bathing my child. And I realized, like, my child walks and he talks and he's incredibly intelligent and he's able to express that intelligence, right? But he has a disability and I needed to treat it that way, because if I continued to think of it as I innately did as behavior, we were going to be miserable and he was never going to be able to progress and grow, and I was going to just be torn apart with frustration, right? And it gave me this compassion for him to treat him. He is not a paraplegic, but if I think of him at that level emotionally, then I can have the kind of compassion and care that I would have for somebody who has a more physically obvious disability.